So, topic that I want to talk about, your viewpoint on romantic relationships. And if you do have a spiritual relationship with God, how has that affected or changed that viewpoint, if you will? That's kind of the topic I want to stick to right now. Okay, getting into this topic. First off, where I'm at when it comes to romantic relationships. Chat, I'm cooked. The reason I'm saying I'm cooked, okay? I am not 6 feet. I make less than 6 figures. I do not have perfect white teeth. I'm cooked. Okay, I'm gonna stop joking. In all seriousness, when it comes to romantic relationships, I am at a mental and spiritual place where, is it an idol in my life? Not anymore. But it took a while for me to get to the point where relationships weren't an idol. So all throughout my life, I was always the romantic person, if you will, right? I was always the soft-hearted one. I was always the guy who always wanted to be in a relationship. For me, the heartbreaks that I've experienced throughout life have definitely taught me a lot of lessons, but a lot of those lessons I didn't truly learn until after my divorce. Now, granted, none of this is me trying to make fun of any of my exes or even bring my exes up for conversation. Everything that happened for a reason, and I will never act like I was perfect. I've also made mistakes. I've also hurt people. When it comes to romantic relationships, it took for the divorce to happen in order for me to really realize the lessons that I never learned in the past, because the divorce is what directly led me back to God. So in my relationships, I could recognize I wasn't keeping God at the center of them. I wasn't even truly after God during those relationships or during those time periods. And every time that I was in love, I didn't realize that I was more so infatuated with the idea of being in a relationship rather than being infatuated. Well, one, you shouldn't be infatuated with another human like that at all, or at least I don't think. But from my point of view, I was infatuated with the idea of being in a relationship, and I put a lot of pressure onto the other person because I didn't have a sense of self-love and self-worth. Because basically that's what you're doing. You're expecting the person to treat you a certain way, even when they haven't shown you that they have the capacity in order to do that. I didn't fully realize that when I was younger. So I'm just jumping in relationships and I'm giving everything I have with zero spiritual discernment. And I mean zero. So now when it comes to romantic relationships, I am at a place where I have a great sense of self-love, a great sense of self-worth, a great understanding of who I am as a human being, and a willingness to allow people to walk out of my life if they want to without chasing them. I used to be a big chaser. I used to be I want to prove to you that I am worth your time. I want to show you that I'm the man that you want in your life. When the reality of it was, everybody doesn't like everybody. And if you don't like me, that's fine. I understand that now. But back then, if you didn't like me, it was like no, you're gonna like me. Like, I'm gonna make sure you know why you should like me, because I'm a good man. When in reality, when it comes to God's viewpoint, ain't none of us good. None of us are good. All of us are worthless sinners. All of us deserve hell, but that's a whole separate conversation. Now, I love the relationship I have with God, and I love how that relationship has changed my viewpoint when it comes to romantic relationships, because that used to be one of my biggest idols. It was a complete 180 in who I am as a human being, like an entire 180. Everything about me changed after the divorce and after I started seeking God because of the pain from that divorce. When it comes to how God changed my viewpoint, now we can get into some specific details. One thing, when it comes to pursuing a woman, if I desire you, if I approach you, if I make it clear that I believe you are beautiful and I would like to get to know more about you, just whatever the case may be, if you tell me no, I will never double back. That is one big thing that changed for me, because I used to be a person that would say, you said no yesterday, what about today? How are you feeling? You said no a few months ago, what about now? Like, are you still in the same mindset? I used to be willing to double back and try to chase a woman because I would feel like, yo, I'm a good man. I don't see why you don't want me. When the reality is, if you don't like me, you don't like me, and that is okay. That is one big thing that changed. If I approach you and you say no, for whatever the reason may be, whether you're currently dating or pursuing someone else, whether you're straight up not interested, you are at a place where you're not interested in dating at all, you're not interested in me specifically, whatever your reasoning, it is not my job to try to figure out what your why is. Your why is your why, and that's okay. But I am definitely at a place where I am not going to double back around and give you the chance to tell me no twice. That's ultimately what that first thing boils down to. Another thing that changed is the sense of self-love and self-worth that I now have. So now it is much easier for me to be told no and go on about my business. If you do not like me, that does not mean that I am worse of a man. That does not mean that I am unworthy as a man. That does not mean that I am a lower tier of a man just because you do not like me.
I did not understand that back then.
Even though that sounds like common sense is not common when you haven't been taught stuff like that.
This spitting right now.
And there are a lot of men that have been taught how to treat a woman. I said treat a woman. There are a lot of men that have been taught how to treat a woman, but have never been taught what they should receive from a woman. So I would go out of my way to prove that I am worth your time, but I was okay with receiving the bare minimum because I didn't even fully understand that I deserved more. I feel like we grow up hearing no as a meaning of it is only no because I'm doing something wrong and not no because the person is not interested. Boy, that is a bar. That is a bar, and that is the truth. Oftentimes, if I heard no, I was thinking I gotta be doing something wrong. I didn't buy her the right flowers. I didn't take her on the type of date that she wanted to be taken on. This is when I was sexually active. I wasn't putting it down right when I was sexually active. Like, there was something that I'm doing incorrectly if she's not interested in me, where the truth of the reality is maybe she's just not interested. Maybe she doesn't like chocolate skinned men. Maybe she doesn't like short men, because I mean, I'm 5'7". That's slightly below average height for a male. Just whatever the reasoning, you may not like my personality. You may not like that I'm a video game and anime nerd. You may not want to go to the gym with me. Like, whatever your reasoning, if you are not interested, that's okay. That's a no. I can handle that. No does not mean I'm doing something wrong. It can mean you just aren't interested. Andre, thank you for putting that in the chat. See, this is what I want to do with this YouTube channel. Like, yes, I want to game. Yes, I want to put up videos, but these just chat sections, the back and forth with people and like their viewpoints, this is what I love. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you for putting that in the chat, for real. When it comes to romantic relationships, a clear idea of what I want in a partner, that's number 3. That's another big one. A very clear idea of what type of partner that I desire. So when it comes to dating, I can't do casual dating. Not only because I feel like it's a bit of a waste of time for where I'm at in my life. Baby, who got that type of money? If I take you on a date, I'm expected to pay, which I understand. If I'm asking you for your time and I'm pursuing you, I get that. I'm not mad at that, right? I ain't got the money to be asking 3, 4, 5 women out for multiple dates. And then if people want to talk about, hey, maybe be cheap and go on a coffee date.
Baby, I don't even like coffee that much.
I'm not asking 3, 4 women on a coffee date. I don't want to spend all of my free time at the park with a different lady every other week. So when it comes to the things that I want in a woman, 3 main non-negotiables. Other things are adaptable, but there are 3 main non-negotiables. I desire a person who has to have an active relationship with God. And even if you are beginning in your faith, you at least desire to have an active relationship with God, and you would allow me to lead us in that manner. Now then, of course, it's on me. If I lead us down the wrong path, that's on me. I take that accountability. But I can't deal with somebody who doesn't have an active relationship with Jesus or doesn't support that, right? So that's 1. 2, have to enjoy health and fitness as a lifestyle. I've dated women that don't enjoy working out. There's no judgment. I'm not saying that you don't deserve love, nothing like that. I've just found for my lifestyle, it works for me if a person does have an active relationship. I was about to go back to God, but does enjoy actively going to the gym or actively enjoys working out and taking care of their health. Because both Jesus and fitness are 2 major parts of my life. They're not going anywhere. Those 2 specific aspects we have to be able to share. I don't need you to be a video game and anime nerd, although that would help, obviously. But having a relationship with Jesus and enjoying fitness are definitely things that have to be active in your life. And then number 3, no children. Now, when I say no children, I don't think that single mothers don't deserve love. I was raised by a single mother. I'm in no way saying that single mothers shouldn't be in love or should have got it right with the first dude. I don't know everybody's circumstance. So I am in no way, shape, or form judging single mothers when I say that. I am just saying, for me, I don't have any children. I desire a romantic partner that does not have any children. It is that simple. I don't have children. I desire for my partner not to have any children. And if we make it to marriage, I desire for us to build our family together for the first time. That is it. I'm not trying to make it overly complicated. I'm not trying to down anybody. I'm not trying to make anybody feel like they are less than. There are some beautiful and wonderfully made single mothers that absolutely deserve love. I just know what works for me. And I have found throughout my times of dating single mothers, it just wasn't ideal for me personally. So those are the main three things that I desire when it comes to romantic relationships. I want to hit on what you said about understanding. If you are on a date, I feel like multiple dates can help you understand someone better, because sometimes people show up with their that is so true. Oh, let me come forward, take my chair back. Let me get comfortable real quick. But no, it is very true. People will show up sometimes to the first date with a mask. I'm not gonna go as far as saying trying to be everything that you desire, but they'll show up with everything just right, if you will. Like everything will be perfectly dotted, or as best dotted to the T as possible, because I know I used to do that. I've always been a gentleman. I've always been loving, kind, caring, and respectful. And I was never the guy, again, this is going back to when I was sexually active. I was never the guy that was like, I'm paying for dinner, you owe me cheeks. I was never that guy. But I also will not lie and say that I was not looking forward or wasn't dating hoping that that would come at some point, right? So to a certain degree, I was presenting a masked character, because even though, yes, I genuinely was a kind, loving, caring, and respectful person, again, this is before I had a relationship with God, even though that's the way I would present myself, I know internally there was a part of me that was like, hey, at some point, I'm keeping it a buck. I'm not there now. Thank God for healing. Thank God for change. You know, I would want that in return. How long has it been? 48 minutes? I'm not trying to time it. It's just usually I don't have other people to go back and forth with. So I'll talk for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then I'll get into gameplay. So it feels like it's taking a little longer, but I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like the back and forth. So thank y'all for being here. If y'all here now, if y'all left and came back, just thank y'all for spending a little bit of time with your boy.